The arrival of a baby is a period of immense happiness and anticipation for parents. However, in addition to this joy, unforeseen challenges can also surface and place a strain on the relationship. Adjusting to the new family dynamics can be complicated, and many couples can find themselves facing difficulties that they never expected to encounter. According to research, around 67% of couples have faced challenges in their relationships after the birth of their first child. The progression to becoming parents brings about various stressors like sleep deprivation, financial difficulties, and adjustment to the new roles and responsibilities. Many couples experience difficulties in communicating and supporting each other effectively during this demanding time. These challenges can leave them feeling frustrated, resentful, and isolated. It can be difficult to navigate these challenges and successfully maintain a strong and healthy relationship. As a result, on today's program, we shall address this common issue head-on. You can learn how to overcome these obstacles, strengthen the bond with your partner, and fulfill the demands of parenthood.
Hi everybody, welcome back. This is a new series of All About You. We're going to be talking about love for the next few episodes. We are so happy to be back.
I am so happy, excited.
Thank you for joining us, Judula. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Yes.
Happy, yes. Very happy.
I'm very happy to have you back as well. And we are looking forward to some very interesting topics. Like I said, all related to love life. So keep an eye on our social media. Make sure you follow, you subscribe, that you like, that you share. Because maybe today's topic will be helpful to a friend. Perhaps it doesn't apply too much to you, but there's always something we can learn from today's topic. What are we talking about today, Judula?
So it's a hot topic today.
Ooh,
hot,
sensitive, I would say, for some people as well.
Controversial to a degree as well. So we're not here to be controversial.
Yeah.
Just to give some tips and some points. As
disclaimers.
That always happens, okay?
Yeah.
So today's topic is about marriage after a baby.
Okay.
So,
and why are you here today then?
well, I'm here because I'm a mother.
Okay.
Okay, so I've had the experience of having a baby after marriage. Okay. So I will put my 2 pence, as they say, in. So I believe with this topic, everybody will have a little something to add.
Well, I don't have any children, but I'm a daughter. So I have quite a lot to say when it comes to children as well, because I came from a large household, 2 boys and another sister, so 4 in total. They were quite naughty, a handful. And I used to help my mom, chase after my little brothers around the house to do what they needed to do and all that kind of thing. So yes, we had a lot of fun and everything, good memories, but there's a lot to learn as well.
Definitely.
Especially for people out there who say, well, I want to have a son, I want to have a daughter, I want to have a child. There are things that would be very helpful for you to hear from people who've walked the walk, like they say, people who have experienced that, and perhaps, make sure that this is the right decision for the moment now. Are you ready? So there's a few things to consider.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, Judula, there are a few things that are usually affected. Shall we use that word?
Yeah.
When you have a baby. But before we go into that, how was it for you?
It's such a vast topic, to be honest with you, because there are many that come from like different types of cultures. And some cultures tend to have a lot of pressure when it comes to a couple having children. Yeah. So as you said earlier on, it's something that needs to be discussed, really thoroughly discussed, and not just a decision that should be made because you're feeling a little bit emotional.
You just gave me an idea, and that's something for our producer behind the scenes to take note. We shall have an episode about family interfering in a marriage, in someone else's marriage. So we will talk about this. Because like you said, there's a lot to say when it comes to the topic of children in marriage. So that's a good one.
Yeah.
So how was it with you?
Okay, so initially you have the culture of having hundreds of magazines out there. At that time, there wasn't so many videos as such. It was more like YouTube, or you would watch things on the TV that would have things like one born every minute or something like that. So I would watch a lot of that. But then I thought to myself, no, I'm not going to be influenced by all these magazines and all these things that you're going to watch. And I started to ask for a lot of guidance in terms of how to do it in a spiritual way, because I saw that this does happen, that it does affect a marriage. So I said, I don't want that to happen in my marriage. So I'm going to ensure that that doesn't. So I started setting myself up for ensuring that I didn't become one-sided, all about baby, all about doing this for the baby, all about myself, all about the way that I'm feeling, the way that I'm thinking. And as it says here, it says that new research shows that 1/5 of couples break up in the first year after having a baby. And those statistics are quite high, and that's sad.
Yeah. But most of these, I don't know if you agree with me, these are unplanned, not planned pregnancies as well. You know, it's the very popular thing that some ladies, they say, oh, it's my dream. I want to, perhaps hold the boyfriend, get him to marry. I'm sorry, like you said, we're going to go deep into this for a good reason. Just bear with us. This is educational. We are not here to criticize anything, anybody. But society, for society to thrive, we need family. And because we're having problem with foundations when it comes to family foundations, then we see the world we see today. So I think that we need to educate, or people need to get educated a bit more and not read too many magazines of people who are not qualified to talk about that topic.
Definitely.
So that's the thing. Those statistics are very sad. But they're real.
They're real. Yeah. And I think that one of the main causes for this is because there's a lack of consideration between the two. There's a lack of communication between the two. So as I said earlier, if you and your partner said, okay, it's time for us to have a child, we want to have a child, go deeper into it. Don't just look at the surface, or, but our friends are having children, so let's start having some so we can be part of that clique. It's having a child is bringing a baby characteristics, this child, this human being into the world. And you have to ensure that you have the patience, the love, the financial conditions to take care of these child, because all these things contribute to the downfall of one's marriage.
And also that you are ready to give them love. Oh, but that's so obvious. Why are you saying we need to give them love? It's obvious, but many people don't do that.
Yeah.
What is love for a child? Is to hug the child, is to say, well done, is to say, let's go, you can do it, let's do it together, is to encourage, but if the person is just having a child, because it's a dream, it's a personal dream, then you are only thinking of that dream as you think about being a mom, and some ladies out there, and they imagine the baby, but the baby will grow to be a person, an adult rather, to making choices and to being a loving person, or a very cold, traumatized, hurt, and whatever other adjectives you want to add to the list. Because, for example, if I have issues with emotional issues, I have a hard time saying I love you to my mother, to my siblings. If I don't resolve that, how am I going to say I love you to my child? How am I going to? And the thing is, you don't always have to say I love you. It's the touch, it's the hugging, the cuddling. This is very important for the development of a child. And many people, when we hear their stories, many of them, they have something in common. They say, well, growing up, I didn't receive love.
Yeah.
And love is not just the word "I love you." Is the care? Is you know,
It's
proper
the action.
proper food, nutritious food, the warmth of a clean, organized home. You know, not having everybody raising a child, but you are the mother. Obviously, a mom needs support. Nowadays, especially, the cost of living is amazing. Like,
Yeah.
you need to go to work. We understand that, but there has to be that bond, that time. But many want to go out partying, and they say, you know, I deserve me time.
Yeah, yeah.
Hold on a second. You should have calculated that before you had a child. Now you need to be a mother. And a mother, you can have me time,
Yeah, that's not to say we can't have me
but
time.
in a very organized way,
Yeah,
you know,
yes.
that kind of thing.
Exactly. Well, there's a lot to speak about here, but I think that we should go into the street interviews, and once we get back, we're going to continue.
I think you could say it's actually 50-50, where you can see couples who are amazing together, and once they have a child, it becomes a bit hectic, and that can lead to separation as well. And you can see relationships where they have been good together, and then a baby only enhances that relationship. And personally, I feel from what I've seen that a relationship, once you have a baby, anything that your previous relationship was will only enhance.
In my experience as a psychotherapist, where people come to me a lot after that transition, but also as a mother and a partner, is your priority as a mother changes. And the priority becomes about nourishing and nurturing and loving that new baby. And so that's often for the first 2 years, where often partners can be a little bit more in the background. And a lot of people don't understand that that's what's going on. So it's difficult, but it doesn't have to be that way. You know, so whether you reach out to a therapist or you reach out and talk to other elders in your community, you know, aunts, uncles, it's like, how is it for you? And actually, can you help me so that actually I can go and spend some quality time with my partner, because they do matter.
It does change a lot. Yeah, and well, that's why they have to have a baby after 10 years or maybe 15 years or even 5 years relationship later. Otherwise, it changes a lot, because children always brings problem, responsibilities, and it's hard to do it. It's a hard job.
I don't have a baby, but I assume it does a lot. I assume kind of that child is your focus all of a sudden. And also, like, any differences, I mean, hopefully you've got an idea of your values and whatever, but like, so I teach, to be fair, and if I teach with someone else, sometimes like there's a different way I would handle a situation than they would handle it. But yeah, I mean, you're less focused on, you still got to focus on each other, but it's just one more thing, and you're both way more stressed, I guess. So you've got less emotional capacity maybe for each other.
I think that you're not only caring for each other now, you're caring for an entire human being. And so there's a lot of responsibility that it changes the marriage in the fact that you now have to focus not only on keeping your spouse happy and yourself, but a baby. And you're responsible for the way that baby's gonna grow up and act and feel. And so there's a lot of responsibility in the way that you need to act around each other, and how you're showcasing your love and how you treat each other to this baby, because they're going to pick up on everything that you're doing.
I wouldn't say any personal experiences to share for myself, but I think external experiences, yes, I've seen a lot.
That's a good question. my wife's 38 weeks pregnant, so we're due on Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah, as soon as I had my daughter, I split up with my, boyfriend, which is supposed to be future husband. But yeah, we split up.
I think my parents, I mean, they definitely disagreed on how they were raising me. Not like massively, but like if I got a cake or something, my mum didn't want me to have a cake and my dad wanted me to have a cake. So just like different opinions on what their upbringing should be, basically.
I think this is such a fundamental part of life where you have decided to have a child together. I don't believe it's a time where you should just take it on yourself and do all the work yourself and exclude your partner. It's the baby you've had together, so you need to work together to understand and to make the journey together, or else it's going to become a thing where you're dealing with your emotions. Because in all honesty, when you have a child, your body changes dramatically. So your emotions are out the roof. You don't understand how you're feeling. Most of the time, a woman is feeling quite emotional.
Yes.
Whether she wants to admit it or not, she may say, oh no, I'm the super mom and I don't feel this and I can do everything. But you don't really know what's going on with you. So you need someone to relay that to. It's hormonal. But if your partner doesn't understand what you're feeling or thinking or going through, how can he address certain issues? How can your issues be helped? Not issues as such, but how can your differences be helped if he doesn't understand what's happening with you?
You see, this is why it's so important that a couple gets together to talk about their plan to becoming parents and address everything: finances, intimacy, body changes. Let me go and have like a course, take a course on parental, something to do, I think they offer this,
something,
at least in Asia they do, where the husband needs to
parental
be
guidance
present,
or something,
to help the woman in a physical way learn, learning and understanding how the woman will feel afterwards, so that the husband is not like, oh, what's going on?
But
I have a lion in my house.
Exactly, that's how it is. And they often feel like, I don't want to step on eggshells, so I'm not going to ask her, I'm not going to talk much. And that's where they start becoming two separate people.
Yeah, or then he gets angry and just storms out of the house.
Because he doesn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah, so you see, parenting is not an adventure.
No.
Parenting is not an adventure. You have to prepare. Now, there's a few areas of our life that get not affected, let's not use that word, but you see some changes. You need to make adjustments. So what is the first one?
The first one here, it says sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even need to read anything to be reminded of this.
You speak from experience.
Yeah. I mean, that was quite difficult, and obviously, as you said, we're missionaries.
It messes with your mood straight away.
It messes with everything. So I did a lot of that by myself, waking up at night and doing the feeds at night and so on and so forth. But that was something that we decided, because obviously he wakes up very early to go and do his missionary work. So again, we spoke about how we were going to deal with that. So you have to. It's something that you have to do. Yeah, work as a team. I mean, find ways that work for you. So I was advised, when your child is resting, when baby's resting, you rest.
Jardula, something else that changes is?
We have another one, it's intimacy.
Yes.
I mean, that obviously changes because, as I said, her body changes.
And also linked to the first point we made, the sleep. So you go to bed, you want to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. You're sleep deprived, and then there's intimacy to consider. Actually, before we go into the intimacy, I just wanted to say about the sleep.
Tell me.
Sleep in your own bed and make sure baby sleeps in its own bed as well. Because two of you in the bed and a husband or your partner is not really going to work. Yeah. So your own bed, baby has his own bed. Yeah. Okay, so sorry. I had
very, very good point. How many times do I and my husband advise couples when they come? As you know, if you've been watching our programs, we are in the church pretty much every day. Our husbands are pastors, and we do a seminar every Thursday specifically to do with love life. And we are available for advice, advising couples and singles. And sometimes I get that. Couples arguing, because she brings the child to our bed. And it's like, it's disrupting. It's not because you had a baby. It's you being emotional and looking at that cute little being, exactly which surely is, like, how can he sleep on his bed? You need to teach, to discipline, make the child have that discipline. It's time to do this, it's time to do that. Very, very good point. You see, that's another problem for your marriage. Completely, totally unnecessary.
Imagine, it's time to go to bed. You want to have a cuddle. And then there's a baby in the middle. And it's like, hello, what are you doing
Yeah,
here?
he wants to
every
play.
day, every
It's
night.
not playtime, it's sleep time.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Okay,
excellent.
sorry.
So the intimacy part.
Yeah, as I was saying, her body's changed and maybe she doesn't have much confidence in herself now. She doesn't feel like she wants to. As I said earlier, we can't live by what we feel.
Yeah.
Though these hormones are raging and they're quite dominant, we cannot live by what we feel. We have to live by what is healthy and what is going to make us happy and what is going to make our surroundings happy, i.e. the marriage.
Yeah.
So,
And your body, it's a reflection of you just gave birth. So
yeah.
it's a big thing. It's an honorable thing. I mean, look at you. You became a mother. So I hope we have men watching our episode today, because it takes a man a lot of maturity. How can I say, being a man, capital M, and not a boy, to understand that and not make the woman feel awkward about, because you do get the odd person saying, the odd husband saying, oh, your stomach is a bit big, isn't it?
Of course.
Yes.
I've just had a baby. I've just carried a baby for 9 months.
Your own seed as well. What comes in has to come out. A man with a capital M. This is my work. Look at that.
Wow.
Our baby. So this is my woman. Look how beautiful she is. And then you put yourself in her shoes and you think, wow, that wasn't easy. How did that happen? Yes, she had a baby. Okay. 2 more. We're going to go into 2 more things that tend to change with the coming of a baby before we go to a few tips.
Okay.
So what's the next
So
one?
the next one is finances.
All these things should have been planned before having a baby, by the way.
Yeah.
wanna
So you're
talk about
definitely
that?
not going to continue spending the way that you were beforehand, because now there's a lot more nappies, there's a lot more wipes, there's a lot more milk, and there's a lot of things to buy. So
For
it's
the next
just
20 years, shall we say?
Let's say 20 years, yeah. And especially as they start growing, I remember my son, his feet would grow like every couple of months.
Because he's quite tall.
And it was like, and now he wears adult clothes. It's like, I don't have 120 pounds to buy shoes, trainers thing. But Mom, I want those ones. So yeah, time to save and be mindful. As we've said throughout the program, there is time for you time, me time, our time, but do everything with consideration, because finances.
So plan. Can I afford a child?
Yep.
Wow, how can you say that? Because some people, especially those who are a bit more religious,
Yeah.
when I say when you are religious, it's not a compliment. It's not, it doesn't have a very positive connotation in the Bible. Jesus used to say that we shouldn't be religious. Because what do religious people do? They would say things like this, for example. Oh, the child came, it was God's will. Or, for example, you have no protection. You are married, but you don't wear protection. You know you are not ready financially, for example. You don't have a house that is big enough to accommodate a child, for a child to grow happily and have her own room, for example. So, no, but whatever happens, it's the Lord's will. No, it was your will. So that is not that's not a card you should play. It's not fair. You should plan. Can I afford a child? There will be school fees, uniform, and et cetera, et cetera. So that's a big one. And lastly,
the last one is planning.
Planning.
As we've said throughout. I think the
this
whole
should be the first
thing is
one.
about planning. Yep.
Yeah.
Everything falls under planning.
So before we continue into the 5 tips to eliminating marriage problems after a baby, let's have a look at an advert from our Love Life seminars that we have weekly at our brunches. Stay with us.
How many good experiences have you already encountered? The lessons, childhood crushes, the experiences that come and go. Unfortunately, these experiences are suffocated by disappointment, trauma, abuse, relationships that didn't work out, a feeling of emptiness, the sadness and pain of living the past. However, how can you start over? The Love Therapy, a special meeting for those who need to heal their wounds and move on. This Thursday at 8 p.m. at 232 Seven Sisters Road, Finsbury Park, London N4 3NX, or at selected locations across the country. For more information and for the address of your nearest location, check out lovetherapy.co.uk.
Welcome back. As you could see, we are available to advise you. You can seek advice, whatever your situation may be. We are open every day. You can get in touch. You've got our number, our WhatsApp details right there on the screen. We are here for you, okay? We are not going to judge you or tell you what to do, but advise you in light of the Word of God, okay? Which never fails. Trudula, let's go into the 5 steps into helping people have an easier experience.
Less problematic experience.
So what's the first one?
The first one is making time for each other.
Okay.
So it's something that we've more or less discussed. If it's what you want to do, you said, we're going to go ahead with this plan, and it happens, the baby's born. Don't forget to make time for each other. Yes, the baby's here, you don't know what to do with it and so on and so forth, but do it together.
Have a network, a support network.
Yeah,
something
that's
else
important,
people,
actually.
Yes, something else that people should consider before they have a child. You know, do I have someone that can help me look after him when I go out with my husband? Because it's important. You don't even need to go out. You can stay in, watch a movie, cuddle, you know. Touch base, you know, like, oh, what's up with you? What's going on? You know, this and that. Look at each other's in the eye. How are you? Because every day I imagine it's going to work. It's a rush. So look the person in the eye. Small things make a huge difference. Okay?
Definitely.
Second tip, make time for yourself. That's my tip. Make time for yourself. You know, again, don't be shy. Some people are very like this, oh, I don't want to disturb anybody. Excuse me, disturb people. That's what friends are for.
Yeah.
That's what family's for, isn't it? Have this closeness with your friend, with your friends and with your family. Listen, people you trust, obviously, and allow yourself an afternoon for you to nap, do a facial, shave your legs. You know what I mean, okay?
Definitely.
Trudula is like, ooh, don't give away our secrets. Tip number 3.
Okay, number 3 is to communicate honestly, which is vital. Like, if you're not feeling like something or you're having a bad day, especially as an emotional woman, speak about how you're feeling. Don't be afraid. And again, your partner should be willing to listen and understand.
Super important. However, Trudula, I'm always interrupting you in your point.
No problem.
Please forgive me. But for example, how many times, and I hear that a lot, and I'm sure you do when you advise couples and singles, women tend to say, well, he should know. Listen, I have learned this in 23 years of marriage, going to 24. I've learned this. Be practical, girl. You want something done? Ask him as it is. You want a kiss? Hey, where's my kiss? Don't be like, oh, let me see if he's going to come and kiss me.
You wait forever.
Come
Your lips
here.
will...
Give me a kiss.
Your lips will be dry because you'll be waiting.
Isn't it? I hear what you're saying and I agree 100%. But you know something? I've learned this in my marriage. My husband is a very affectionate person, but I've learned to speak his language. Men are very practical, very black and white. They don't read between the lines. This is something you hear in the movies.
Yeah.
So I remember when I was newly married, I would be like, oh, I was upset about something. And he would be like, oh, is everything okay? And I would go, yes. Oh, okay then.
Yeah.
So
Hoping that he let's see if he realizes that I'm upset.
He never realizes.
They don't realize, so don't depend on that.
So you
Doesn't
need
make
help with
sense.
your baby? Say it. I need you to help me, please.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I need you to do. And obviously you discuss these things before you have a baby. So they know what's coming.
Yeah.
Okay? It's a big step. Tip number 4, get help if you need it. Now, do you want to comment on this one?
Yeah, I think we kind of rounded it up already. But I do think that because as well, when you have a child, a lot of people like to put their 2 pence in. Do this, do that, don't do this, do this, don't do that. So it kind of makes you become a bit of a, like, I don't want to ask anybody because they're going to think that I'm, what's the word? Incapable. So I'm not going to ask anybody because if I ask them, they're going to think that I'm not being able to cope.
Okay.
So don't think like that because we all need help at some point. We all need a break. Sometimes it's not even help, it's just a break.
But Trudula, I'm not a mother, but I'm thinking, when you get pregnant and when you deliver the baby, there's no instructions that come with it.
No,
It's like,
there isn't.
this is how you handle your baby. This is how you... No. So it's okay to ask for help.
It is, and you must ask. You must.
But please, ask those who are qualified. Don't go reading a magazine of some random writer or editor that gets paid to sell articles, but they don't know what it's like to be a mother. Okay? No offense there, but I think we have a lot of editors, writers, giving opinions in magazines. The other day, I opened a newspaper and I was like, oh, what's this? And it wasn't nice. What I was reading was not a good advice. And I'm thinking a person who is vulnerable, who is going through something, reading that will make a bad decision.
Wow.
Based on what they read. So be careful. Trudula, tip number 5.
The last one is resolve problems ASAP. So as we said, if you've got an issue, if you've got a problem, don't take it to the extreme of thinking badly. Know that if you deal with it and you express yourself appropriately, because as well, I want to say that it's not a reason for you to use your emotions as a reason or for you to be nasty. Yeah. So, resolve.
Be in control as well.
Be in control, but resolve things as they happen. It's
I think
important.
it's important. Communication, isn't it?
It's key, as they say.
Now, before we end, we would like to read some comments on that we received from social media. So there's this lady that says, as a mother, after birth, we deal with postpartum depression. This causes us to change in our mood after having the baby. Sometimes our partner do not understand what to do to help in this kind of situation. Another thing is that the focus is more on the baby. You want to spend quality time with one another, but the baby gets more of the attention. So, another mother who says that this happens. It's not just her saying, but many. There is this temptation to, it's the baby. But remember, if there wasn't the husband, there wouldn't be a baby. The husband, look. Marriage, baby, friends. But we'll talk about this in another episode, okay? Husband, baby. Your baby needs to grow in a home where mom and dad are happy. That's what makes children happy. Not new trainers, not designer clothes. So if you don't have that from the get-go, you are already setting yourself for failure. Okay, the child may be a newborn, but they can feel that there's no peace in the couple. So that already there, a problem begins inside of the child. Okay, he grows up to think this is normal. Fighting, coldness, division, separation. All right, so this is very, very important. Do you have another one?
Just to touch up on her comment about postnatal depression, I feel like if you do feel like you're having some form of depression, or your thoughts are not the same, you're not recognizing yourself, you're not recognizing your thoughts are intrusive, seek medical attention.
Absolutely. Yes.
Don't be afraid or don't be embarrassed to say, look, I'm having these feelings, I'm having these thoughts, and I'm scared to talk about it because I don't want anybody to take away your baby. They're not going to take away your baby. They're going to be happy to help. So you can come and speak, you can come for advice, you can seek medical attention, but don't sit with it and keep it as your own.
Yeah, because it's not going to go away by itself,
No,
isn't it? You need
no.
some kind of help. Absolutely. Any other comments?
Yeah, I have one here that says, I guess everything begins to revolve around the baby, especially when they are infants. They also have to decide together how the child will be raised, the type of environment the child grows up in, and like which type of schools and etc. So again, I believe it's all about having consideration for the different people that are in that family and trying your best to meet everybody's needs.
Yeah, it's teamwork.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Having a baby is teamwork. I remember my parents weren't perfect. Like I don't think there's such a thing as perfect parents. Because like I said, there's no instruction. You don't come with instructions when you're born. So they did a pretty good job, let me tell you. Because at 19, my mom had already 3 children.
Oh.
This was back in the day, different circumstances.
Yeah.
But they did a good job. I remember that they were very like a team, and I remember that. So that's a good memory, actually. Trudula, before we leave, again, we have a Bible verse to share with our viewers.
Yeah.
Would you like to read it?
It's in Ecclesiastes, it's chapter 4 from verse 9 to 10, and it says, 2 are better than 1, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, one will lift up his companion. But woe to him who is alone when he falls, for he has no one to help him up. So teamwork, again. If there's not a team, there was a team to make the baby, and now the baby's born, you want to make it about yourself.
Maybe there was not a team when
that's
the baby was made.
a different topic now. Oh, wow.
But we will go into this. Like I said, we will be going deep into the love life whole topic during the next episodes, okay? But that's something we'll touch on a lot more. But yes, even the Bible is very clear. Be a team, okay? Understand that it's each other's responsibility. It's not just the mothers or the fathers, okay? And before we say goodbye, for real this time, there's so much we could be talking about today. We would like to advise our viewers to check this book out. It's called Bulletproof Marriage, written by 2 people that can actually talk about marriage. I know them personally.
And children.
Yes. And there's a lot you can learn. Very easy read, and with lots of practical examples there for you, okay? You can find the links on our screen. You can Google it. Surely you will find it on Amazon or other platforms. I think it's really worth the investment, okay? Well, Trudula, thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
I wish we had more time to talk about this. But in a nutshell, children are not, can't be just a dream, a personal dream. You have to understand that you are bringing into the world a human being. So you can't be selfish about it. You have to be able to provide or meet every single need of that child that you are about to, bring to the world. And also, children, like some people, Trudula, they believe that, I'm going to have a child so I can save my marriage. It does not work.
No.
You see, if anything, you're going to have more problems. So having a baby will not hold your man. Having a baby will not make all your emptiness, the emptiness of the soul that perhaps you carry as a person. For instance, you have this emptiness, this anguish. You know that there's something missing in your life. So you think, well, maybe if I have a baby will not fill that gap. What you are looking for is God. You know, God is the only person that can fill that little tiny gap. He made you with that gap so that you can seek for Him and find Him. Okay? Once again, you can feel free to get in touch with us, to ask questions, to leave your comments. Join us again next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
With a single click, you can stay in the loop about everything that is happening on our program. Stay connected through our Instagram page. You can catch up there on all the awesome All About You daily content and stay up to date on all of our events, projects and seminars. You will also get the opportunity to empower yourself with inspiring messages. On Facebook, you can have access to the latest info, photos and posts that will motivate you. Plus, this is where you can watch the behind-the-scenes moments that will certainly captivate you. On YouTube, you get to watch the program and connect to exclusive and wholesome content. Don't forget to subscribe, and to receive all notifications, you need to activate that little bell. Like, comment, interact, and share. All About You, designed with you in mind.